ghost towns. It's a little bit different than probably the other topics. It's more historical than ghosty, but excuse me. But what I thought I would do is kind of tell you a little bit about ghost towns and what is a ghost town. When you think about a ghost town, you might think about the old western-looking storefronts with the tumbleweed blowing down the dirt road and all that. That can be that, or it could be just a bunch of broken down foundations, or it could be any number of things. And so Philip Varney, the author of several popular ghost town books, defines it as any site that has had a markedly decreased population from its peak. A town whose initial reason for settlement, such as a mine or a railroad, no longer keeps people in the community. There are three categories of ghost towns: completely deserted, minimal population, and still thriving. And when you are out looking for ghost towns, these are some of the things that you might look for. And at first sight, they may not seem like it, but you kind of know what to look for. You might stop and check it out a little bit more. Scattered rubble or a site where nature has kind of reclaimed the land. I'll show you some pictures of some of these. Roofless or partially demolished buildings, boarded up or abandoned buildings with no population, a community with many abandoned buildings and a small population, a historic town that might be functional but much smaller than when it was in its boom years, and a restored town, state park, or replica of an old town or fort, much like your Fort Maine. So sometimes when you're out driving around and you kind of see just bits and pieces of things, you might stop and take a closer look. Some little tidbits about ghost towns. Saloons far outnumbered schools and churches and businesses in many of these towns. And there's a term, whiskey town, if you've ever heard that. There are a lot of whiskey towns in Oklahoma. They popped up because there were more saloons than anything else. There was actually a city in the Panhandle called Beer City that I want to go find. It was in the Panhandle, and then whenever the Panhandle became part of Oklahoma Territory,